The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the 14th day of February 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sherry Vanderpoo, and Leanna Lambert will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sherry, it's Monday morning, day after the American football Super Bowl. And first off, you watched the game.
I watched most of it. Yeah, I definitely watched the first halftime and then a little bit of the ending.
So what was your favorite part about the Super Bowl?
I was for the underdog. So when they did take the lead, I was quite excited about that. That was the Cincinnati Bengals. And I chose my team because I went to school in Ohio, and then I couldn't do LA because my ex-husband was from there. So it was like, because neither one of them were my team. So that's what I had to break it down to. So, yeah.
That's all you choose your
team.
He
won again. But anyway, I digress. But nobody... but it was good. And like I said, I didn't watch it in its entirety, but I liked it with a lot of little history moments in there. So I enjoyed it as much as I said.
You know, it's interesting because we have someone, Sahima, saying didn't watch the game at all, only watched the halftime show. And what was interesting, maybe I aged myself, and it just tells me how many people that are on social media were born in the 90s, because I'm gonna be honest, I like the halftime show. I mean, it was cool. It was pretty, it was hit, right? But when I hear people saying it was the best halftime show, I'm like, maybe I'm aging myself. But one young lady, I was like, so you never saw Michael Jackson, or you didn't see Prince not long ago? What, 10, 15 years ago? Like,
you didn't see Janet Jackson?
Beyonce. I'm like, not take away the Flash, and she was still back. But I'm just like, I think we have a tendency to always think the most recent is the best. And I'm just gonna be honest, ain't nothing topping Michael Jackson ever.
Yeah,
folks. Let me just keep it real with you. Michael Jackson had people passing out before he showed up to a concert.
Yeah,
people paid thousands of dollars to go to a concert and woke up in a hospital talking about what time's the concert. Don't ever think that anything. I saw some crap months ago talking about, oh, Drake is the new Michael Jackson. Until I see people passing out in millions trying to get close to this stuff, don't compare anyone to Michael Jackson, the performer. It ain't nothing close, and that has nothing to do with age. It's just like Whitney Houston.
Thank you, Jamal. I was just gonna say, I still want Whitney.
Watching him, like, let's just keep it. You know what I'm saying? But that said, it was a heck of a halftime show. It was. But what I will say, and this ties into our conversation today, Black folks, don't fall for the trinkets of the NFL. That halftime show was a trinket. The rumors are going around about Eminem don't kneel, this and that. This is still a racist league that has 2.5 black coaches, right?
2.5.
Yeah, because they got the biracial guy who says he's human, but my dad is black. So if you're human, but your dad is black, whatever. I mean, yeah, exactly. So Yeah. Look, anyway, that's not good morning, everyone. And thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today, as we discussed charity versus PR. Charity versus PR. And the dispute between the Bermuda Union of Teachers and the Ministry of Education. The Daily Play is a who said it, so you know Sherry. Yeah, we're expecting big things from Sherry. But folks, let's get to
Okay.
today's question. So let's just put in context. Let's put in context so those who don't know. And let me be clear, because there are people who watch
Please.
this show who think that what Belko did was great, and there's forget the negativity. I was speaking to a young brother, and he didn't give me permission to say his name, but hadn't spoken to him in a while, and he reached out to me yesterday, and he is probably one of the most intelligent, if not the most intelligent young Bermudian. I call him Teo 2.0. Very loved by Bermudians, and he is in the legal field. And he touched me last night. He goes, brother, thank you for saying this, but our people, I just don't think they're going to wake up. Like, So anyway, a quote by Trevor TNN, quote, "It is a fantastic feeling to give back to our community," end quote. Balco Managing Director of Transmission, Retail, and Distribution, Michelle Lehman, said, quote, "It is difficult to see our brothers and sisters going hungry, so we at Balco just want to help people out and give back," end quote. And let me just, Sherry, it's so easy to sit back, bitch and moan, and complain, right? It's very easy to do that. And when you question these things, right? When you question these things, people tend to say, "Oh, well, what are you doing?" My answer to that is not arrogant. It's not cocky. But Google my name.
Jamal, it's Monday.
Because I'm sick and tired of people, Black people especially, falling for the okie doke.
Yeah.
I literally am. It bothers me that our intellectual capacity doesn't allow us to think beyond the PR and marketing exercises of today. We love to be used. We love to be throwing trinkets like a halftime show, even though the overall organization is racist. We love satisfaction, even though it does nothing to help us eliminate. So what is the question today, you may ask? What are better solutions to modern day charitable acts? So, Sherry, I'm going to start because I want people to have an idea of where we're going with this. While you wrap it up and you thank somebody for a bag of groceries and bag of chips and this and that, and soon as that bag of groceries is going, soon as that bag of chips and everything's going in that bag, guess what? It's like a drunk person. Soon as you sober up, your problems remain. Soon as those groceries are gone, your problem remains. Are we interested in short term? That's not even short term.
The Belko bill still sheds off. Yeah.
Is this what we're really focused on? So let me give you some solutions. People ask, what could they have done differently? Well, first off, I'm not going to tell any corporation how to spend their money. I'm not going to tell any business how to spend their money because, I'm going to give credit where it's due. Balco employs a lot of Bermudians. And to me, and I've echoed Craig Kenner, former leader of the One Bermuda Alliance in Bermuda, and he said it leading up to the last election, the best charity is creating jobs and opportunities for Bermudians. That's the best charity, so people can do for themselves or give them an opportunity to create their businesses. So that said, what could Balco have done differently? This one came from someone in the audience. Energy efficient bulbs. Guess what? And giving away energy efficient bulbs goes longer than a bag of groceries. It may not immediately feed someone, but long term, it gives them the opportunity to feed themselves. Let's go with another one. Develop a discount program greater than the one you have, a cost savings program, right? Let's go to another one. Seminars about how people could purchase shares in the parent company of Balco.
That was a good one, Jamal.
Yeah. There are so many different options if you really care about the community. This is not, and there's this picture, Sherry, this picture, and I had to share it. A brother had shared it. This is what Balco and all these corporations, mainly white-led, remind me of. This is it. This is what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Folks, I say this with the utmost respect. Stop falling for the okie doke. Stop feeling like when a company is looking for some marketing and PR, stop allowing yourself to be used. Last night, you got these companies paying millions for Super Bowl ads, and all you're charging for marketing and PR advertisement is a bag of damn groceries? Folks, credit to Belco if they think this is in the best interest of the people they serve. But my last question before I turn it over to the audience and you, Sherry, is this. How do you qualify a family in need?
Don't get me started on that. Jamal, you know, marketing PR does what it's supposed to do, right? It's supposed to entice you to come, entice you to buy, entice you to do X, Y, and Z. That's what it's supposed to do. When you see fast food commercials, you want to go eat it. When you do, but if you are not looking past the commercial to understand that all of that is fake on top of it, that they burn the hamburger to make it look like it's good and they do all of this stuff. We are not looking past what you said, the shiny trinket. We're not looking past the bag of groceries. We're not looking past who qualifies for this. And then what you do is just start this whole cycle. Have you seen, like, school give back backpacks and people walking off with 4 and 5 backpacks and they didn't have one kid? Have you seen that, Jamal? On top of it, and it just breeds this whole, give me. And then we're back here again, for next year. I agree with you. Not many times we do agree, but I agree with you, Jamal, in regards to doing different things that can show people how to do the longevity. We always want to sprint. It's a marathon. We take our time, slow and steady. And if we are able to change our mindset and our lifestyle, then we can see the long term, but we want instant gratification. And that's what marketing does. It provides you with wanting to have instant gratification. I want to be skinny tomorrow, but it's not going to happen. No matter how many diets and different things are out there. We really need to change our mindset.
It definitely requires that, Sherry. I agree. What are your thoughts, audience? What are better solutions to modern day charitable acts? Let me ask you that. And I want to answer this because here, so Rosalind Famous says, for those of you who are listening and can't see, she asked a question: is this the only charitable act that Balco does? Let me revert back because clearly my issue is charitable acts. Clearly, that's an issue I have personally. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The problem is white corporations, even with black faces, using charity not for us but for them. When are black people gonna get it through our heads that charity does nothing to advance us? Again, I'm gonna use the example. I'm gonna give 2 examples this morning. So no, this is, if there's a topic you all have heard me pissed off about, is this one, charity. And this is not to say all charity is bad. Let me be clear. But when the cameras come, as I tweeted, it becomes an exercise in PR and marketing, not charity. Stop the BS. You deserve better. We deserve better as a community. I've always said this, and I will continue to say it. In a fair and just world, there would be no need for charity. Repeat that in your head till it knocks you. Now, let me use this example for you. When I was in school in Alabama, Sherry and I's old stomping ground, Huntsville, Alabama. You know what I'm talking about, Sherry. Give them to him. Well, I mean, they need to jump around for that. And get one there. Huntsville, Alabama in the house. Charlemagne told me that one. But anyway, I was listening to the radio one day, and I'm sure you've heard about Suge Knight. I mean, Suge Knight was a great part of everything we witnessed last night.
Right? Yes.
Unfortunately, he wouldn't be able to experience it because he's where he belongs, in a jail cell. But anyway, I was listening to the radio, and they were having a debate on the radio about Suge Knight because there were some children who became orphans, Sherry. The These children became orphans because their parents had been killed in a crash. And Suge Knight had said that he would give them, start a trust or scholarship fund, whatnot. And the debate was, is Suge Knight a good person doing this act, or is he still the evil being, da 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 da? The conclusion for me was very simple. When evil people have the means to help, of course they're going to do a charitable act. It's easy.
Right.
It's with me now. When evil people have the means to become charitable and look good in the eyes of those who are watching, that exercise in PR and marketing is going to do what it does.
Right.
But what we have to understand is, folks, this person, this corporation, these people are still who they are. And that's what we lose sight of when we get trinkets. Corporations doing charity are very seldom about the people who they tell you are benefiting. And the example I'm going to go back to, folks, and I hope this hits home, because we have a culture where we experience this, Sherry. And that is, if there's one thing that I always told you when you were young, don't go to the bar and drink your problems away, because sober up, those problems will still be there. Yeah. And my point is, folks, while we can commend Belco, I commend Belco for hiring Bermudians and creating opportunities for Bermudians. I commend many companies who do that. Not just hire them, but hire them and give them an opportunity to make a living. Not hire them and they're struggling to make a living, but hiring people, that's how you eliminate the need for charity, right? Government, removing red tape and bureaucracy. That's how you do it. But we must lose this idea that charity is the benefit of us. Charity is a friend to poverty. Let's go to the comments. Amanda Blakeney for you, Sherry.
Jamal, a show on the One Island, One Book initiative spearheaded by Barclay would be great to discuss. Girl Cut by Florence Maxwell is a great read.
Thank you for that, Amanda. And I will definitely look that up on Amazon. Rick Olson says Belco is a monopoly, so anything they do should be appreciated. But I agree it is BS. No, I'm not saying, well, I am saying, no, we shouldn't just appreciate anything from them. We have a right to disagree with what they're doing, how they're doing it. At the end of the day, charity, I remember in the U.S., and Sherry, you know this, in the U.S., many companies do these charitable acts for tax reasons.
Listen.
Like, I remember the Goodwill Games, and Ted Turner, who owned CNN, TBS, all the stations, TNT, had the Goodwill Games, and people were like, oh, this is nothing but a charity for his taxes. Folks, at the end of the day, like my hope, and I was speaking to that young brother last night, and he's just like, look, let me go back to my corner. You know why so many young, Black, intelligent people are going back to their corner? You know why they're enjoying their corner? Because they're tired of trying to wake up the masses to understand that they deserve better. They're tired of trying to have these conversations. They're like, Jamal, good luck with you every morning. So that's why the question is, what are better solutions to modern day charitable acts? Talent TJ Clark says, let's say they gave away, let's say a bag they gave away cost $200. They had 1,000 bags, so that's $200,000 spend. No, let's say they have $30,000 houses paying Belco. 30,000 houses divided by 200,000 is 6.66 per house. Not much considering they make $9 million a month with average bills at $300. Let me put it to you like this, Tyler.
Wow.
You know full well I visited my Belco bill yesterday, right? And I'm gonna be very vulnerable and sure that I paid an additional $200 on my bill to be, under, and it's not showing on my bill. So I happily sent Belco a letter last night, an email asking where's my extra $200. I don't know you guys nothing, but I'm saying I only checked because I usually just pay it. I'm not one person who looks, which I really should. And when I go to a restaurant with somebody, always looking at bill, the line item. I'm just not that kind of person, right? But Traveling Trotty says, over the years, Balco has given millions in scholarships. Yeah, they've done a lot of stuff. But folks, let's even talk about that. We talk about, go back to my comment, in a fair and just world, there will be no need for charity, right? In a fair and just world, there will be no need for scholarships. Our goal, our goal, right, is the teachings of Marcus Garvey, do for self. Unfortunately, we live in a system that was designed in the way it's designed, where we have to rely on others for scholarships and grants and aids, right? And charity. But that's everything that we should be working against. The idea is empowerment. That's the idea, empowerment. And this is not empowering, is my point. So again, credit where it's due for all that Balco does right.
Right.
Credit where it's due for providing opportunities for Bermudians. I'm not taking that away. Even Suge Knight done some good. But folks, we deserve better. And we've got to stop loving up things that don't empower us as a community. That's not the answer. James Birch says charity should be in the business of putting itself out of business. Thank you, James. So changing the core reasons for the problems they address would be in their mandate. So I think it was Tamara Richardson, and forgive me if it wasn't you, Tamara. If you're watching, tell me it wasn't you. I believe she said in comments recently, the idea of, we had Leroy Bean on, we've had Family Center on, we've had all these charitable, their mandate should be actually to ensure that they no longer need to exist. The mandate for hunger, right, feeding people, right, should be to correct these problems so there's no longer a need for them. That's the purpose of charity, so that we create an environment that they're no longer needed. But I digress, Sherry. I digress. What are better solutions? What we have another hot conversation. Go ahead, Sherry.
Yeah, no. And like I said, I definitely agree with you. When you are also in the business of social work, these are the things that are constantly being put out there. And then we have constantly have people coming back and back for food vouchers, for this, for that. But we do as much as we can. But, it's employment, it's skills, it's trades that need to be given to persons so that they don't end up back at the table saying, hey, can I have a food voucher? There's plenty of things that can be out there. We can teach people how to do gardens so that they can have their own vegetables and fruits. And there's all of these community gardens. Different companies can take one over and teach people how to do that. I would show up.
What was that example about fishing?
Yes, I was thinking it, Jamal, but I didn't want to say it. You could teach a man to fish, but I didn't want to say it wrong. Somebody in the comments say it.
Yeah, somebody knew. You know what we're talking about, but it's that fishing example. Teach a man to fish. And
I was sitting here thinking it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying. You know what we're saying. Sam Cat Plays, real quickly before we bring Liana in, says it would be nice if they can write off one bill and let people use that money to put on another bill or food or whatever they need the money for. To say it can't be done is a lie. And thank you for that solution, that suggestion, Sam Cat Plays. And congratulations again to you on winning your $500, Sam Cat Plays. Make sure you give us some love, folks. Sam Cat Plays, if you want to be like Sam Cat Plays, folks, just go to our website and follow the instructions to become the next $500 winner. It's very easy.
I'm doing right now
on our website, folks. No, Sherry, you can't play. Let's bring Leanna in for the conversation. Good morning, Lisa. How are you?
Good morning, guys.
I see we got a certain little tree in the corner there.
Yes, I said,
Valentine's?
Today is Love Day, so
Oh,
why not bring Coco back with her pretty pinks and, try and brighten up those who celebrate today.
yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
Jamal.
Wow.
I love every day.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? I love every day. You can get me.
Which you're absolutely
yes.
right. Every day should, but for those who do
Mm,
indulge in today's day, why
mm.
not?
Rich
I,
people
I
got money to spend.
Yes,
and
Buy
it's
me
very
a
sometimes I
gift.
don't think it
commercialized.
has to be that deep. You know what I mean? For me, it doesn't have to be that deep.
She
Yeah.
just wants chocolates, and I hope he don't get you nothing.
Uh,
You ain't
that-
getting nothing.
That's a grumpy uncle on a Monday morning. A grumpy
A
one.
big GU, a big GU, like capital letters
So Sherry,
GU.
so Sherry, you're gonna share your Valentine's gifts with us tomorrow.
I have one downstairs right now. I just haven't opened
Yeah.
it, just so you
Oh, you're
know.
just starting
Just
trouble. You're just
just so
starting.
you know.
Just
Yeah,
so you
let
know.
me end this
And while I
conversation.
will
Starting
be
trouble.
behind out here, so just so you know,
You're starting trouble.
that's been downstairs since 5 o'clock
You're starting
this
trouble.
morning.
Starting trouble. We've got a few.
Celebratory.
We've got a few people that have told us to give a man a fish and feed it for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed for a lifetime. So yes, we've
Yes,
got a couple of people that have assisted us in that.
thank
Lee,
you.
ready for the news?
I am, but I've had a great weekend. Thank you for asking.
Oh,
I did actually.
I had a
oh.
Get 'em,
chance to go
Lee.
to Tina Martinez's Valentine's Day edition soul session at Blue Waters, and when I say it was beautiful, they managed to put the show together in a week, and it
Question:
was great.
Who is Tino Martinez?
Oh my God, Sherry, help him, please help him.
Isn't
Oh,
she's a single, right?
He's a
Yes.
saxophone player.
Vampire, yes.
she
Saxophonist,
didn't know
yeah.
either.
I did.
That's my kind of thing. Saxophone, man, that's my thing. Anyway, folks, we've got another important conversation coming up. We're talking about the Bermuda Union of Teachers, no confidence vote in the minister, and it looks like the Commissioner of Education. So another hot one coming up. You don't want to miss this because I'm sure Sherry has some things to say. Over to you, Lee.
Thanks, Jamal and Sherry, and good morning. And again, happy Love Day to everyone who celebrates and to all of those who are tuned in with us today. We hope everyone had a great weekend and is ready for the upcoming week. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Well, in today's top stories, as we said, the island's teachers have affirmed they are through with the way things are being run in the public school system after teachers passed a vote of no confidence in the education minister, the ministry's permanent secretary, and the commissioner of education. Now, according to reports, an emergency virtual meeting was called at the Bermuda Union of Teachers headquarters last Friday, where the motion is said to have been passed. However, details have still not yet been revealed. Speculations into why such extreme measures have been taken, while all we know is that teachers have felt ignored and not enough respect is given to the organization. Now, a detailed open letter is set to itemize teachers' grievances and can be expected sometime this week. In other news, firefighters put out a blaze at the Four Ways Inn restaurant in Warwick yesterday afternoon. Now, according to a Bermuda Fire and Rescue spokesperson, crews were alerted to the fire just after 2:30 p.m. A team of 8 firefighters from the Hamilton and Port Royal stations responded to the call. On arrival, fire crews found a laundry engulfed in flames. Now, firefighter crews quickly extinguished the blaze. The cause of the fire is unknown. The fire is under investigation by a fire service investigator. Meanwhile, a senior man was taken to hospital over the weekend following a crash in Pembroke. Now, a police spokeswoman said that officers responded to a report of a single vehicle collision involving a car on Curving Avenue at about 1:30 p.m. Initial information suggests that a 69-year-old man was exiting Rambling Lane when he collided with the wall on Curving Avenue. Police say the exact nature of his injuries is unknown. However, he was taken to hospital via ambulance for treatment to his injuries. A female passenger was not reported to be injured in the crash. And Bermudian track star Janai Parent-Chief made a highly impressive showing at the Tyson Invitational, winning the triple jump with a massive leap of 16.91 meters, which is the world's leading distance so far this season. Now, the Bermudian athlete entered this meet holding an already impressive 8th place in the season rankings thanks to his leap of 16.55 meters in New York last week, and he surpassed that during the meet in Arkansas to move to the top of the season world rankings. The Bermuda National Athletics Association posted an image and said, quote, the hits keep on coming for Janai Parent-Chief, winning the Arkansas Tyson's Invitational with a World Athletics world leading performance in the triple jump, end quote. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 70 and a low near 58 degrees. We start our day off with cloudy skies this morning as rain and showers are expected to arrive by mid to late morning, however, easing by this evening. A strong cold front continues its approach from the west while winds continue to strengthen. Now, we can expect a developing gale this morning as showers develop before the front sweeps through near midday with heavier rainfall and gusty winds. Notably, cooler weather will follow into midweek while staying breezy and generally cloudy. That's all for our daily hour news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Now let's head back to Jamal and Sherry in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
Yo, when you said stay breezy, I was just thinking like took me back to the concert not concert, but halftime show. No, it was like a concert, but
It was.
That halftime show.
And people are asking for more. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if something.
And no,
yeah.
I heard you in the back, Jamal, talking about, young people who are applauding this one as a great, great show. No, they hadn't seen Michael Jackson or Prince, but for their day and age, that was a great show.
No. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say it was a great show. I said it was the best ever.
Oh, best ever. Okay.
Best ever. Oh no, it's a difference.
Because I just felt that.
Don't go around here talking about best ever if you ain't seen Prince. Weren't long ago. Prince was actually 2000 something, but it weren't long ago. Purple Rain in the Rain. Yeah, don't get no better than that.
Yeah,
Purple Rain in the Rain.
I feel like last night's show it didn't have all the theatrics and those little things, gimmicks that make it great. I just feel like it was pure talent on that stage last night, and I think that's 50? What wowed me.
Well, can you all? I was just gonna say 50. I'm being serious. I know 50's a troll and he jokes on everybody, but ladies, calm down. Everybody puts on a little bit of weight. I mean, you should see people. I'm like, and I know it's all jokes, but I'm like, you couldn't do that if there's a woman. You all be up in arms. But people joking about, oh, he's got that COVID weight. And I mean, I was shocked that he looked bigger, but I'm just like, seriously? Yeah,
he looked all right to me. The fact that he was able to hang upside down, I was like, Curtis, I see you. I see you, Curtis.
Oh, she getting by government. Sherry, what you got for us there?
Of course. Well, today is Valentine's Day. It's the love day, Jamal, in case you didn't know, because Leanna and I do. And we are ready to shower our significant others with love and tokens of appreciation. Of course, love should be celebrated every day, but we can be a little bit elaborate or do a little bit more for today. In addition to Valentine's Day is International Book Giving Day, which is pretty cool. So I'm thinking 1 and 1, you can give somebody a book for Valentine's Day because it is International Book Giving Day. So all of those book lovers can share books on today as well.
Oh, see, that's lovely.
Happy Valentine's Day from me and Leanna, audience.
So I'm putting Leanna on the spot since you all want to talk about it. Lee, you got a Valentine?
I do. And I had a great weekend with my Valentine this weekend. So
hey, look, she said you ain't doing this to me, bro. Yeah, whatever.
Right. I see you, Leanna. I love black love.
Thank you, Sherry.
Leanna said you ain't coming for me this morning,
Not
bro.
this morning. Right. You can stay right over there.
And black love. Drop a bomb on Leanna and love.
Yeah. We're gonna get a bomb. Lee, honestly, I'm glad that you had a great weekend with your Valentine. You deserve the very best, and you know you're my little sister, so just make sure he take care of you, all right?
Thank you kindly.
See you tomorrow.
Low-key threat.
Have a good Valentine's Day.
Thank you. You guys as well.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We have a hot conversation coming up. We've got the Bermuda Union of Teachers and the Ministry of Education. Seems like a standoff. I don't know what this means, but we're going to discuss it anyway. Hopefully, some of you all can assist. Stick with us.
Hi, I'm Karen, a nurse at the old folks home. These long hours used to kill my feet until my hairdresser told me about a great place to buy a pair of clogs. Medical House. Finally, relief. They also carry uniforms in bright, bold colors, and not to mention the support stockings.
Karen, Miss Salter's bet her bet again.
Oh gosh, these days, I need all the support I can get.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke.
This month, we're again featuring an important dealer in the whole food industry, Aurora Natural Products, who started in Connecticut in 1998 with 4 employees and now employ hundreds, all devoted to producing a wide variety of all-natural and organic goods to an ever-expanding market. Aurora have become a national leader in the whole food distribution business and are ever mindful of the big picture, monitoring the path of each and every ingredient from their source to your table. Try Aurora Natural Raw Shelled Pistachios. Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
All right, welcome back to the big show. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Without further ado, let's jump right into today's conversation, the Daily Focus. And the question this morning is going to be, what's the solution to the standoff between the Bermuda Union of Teachers and the Ministry of Education? So for those of you who don't know, because not everyone wants to read the news or is up to date on what's going on in the news. Seriously, the news can be stressful, right? And so, unfortunately, we do that on your behalf. Well, fortunately. So the Royal Gazette headline an article. It says, BUT, Bermuda Union of Teachers, passes motion of no confidence in Education Minister, Permanent Secretary, and Commissioner. Honestly, folks, I don't know what that means, because I believe it's up to the Premier to remove the minister. But let's just go through the story a bit. And the first person I saw who posted this was Gary Foster Skelton of Bermuda Broadcasting Company. So the Royal Gazette, according to the Royal Gazette, teachers have passed a motion of no confidence in the Education Minister, the ministry's permanent secretary, and the Commissioner of Education. It's understood the motion was passed at an emergency meeting of the Bermuda Union of Teachers. Details of why it was passed have not yet been revealed. The BUT is expected to write an open letter to outline its grievances. The Ministry of Education did not respond to requests for comments from the Royal Gazette as of press time, and this was from Saturday, I believe. But Diallo Rabane, the Minister of Education, told the Bermuda Broadcasting Company the government was willing to come to the table and talk with the BUT. The union earlier said they did not feel that the ministry had listened to them. However, Mr. Rabane said, quote, now this is where it gets interesting. Just because something is said, it is not, just because something is said and it is not acted upon doesn't mean it wasn't listened to and taken into account when the final decision was made. Quote, all of us are not going to get exactly what we want at all times, but we are always going to aim to collaborate because that is what we are here for, end quote. Let me just say this. I'm not an educator. You all know how I feel about the government. And I've always said I have the highest amount of respect for police officers and educators. I think they have some of the hardest jobs in the community in Bermuda. But that said, again, credit where it's due. Firstly, I feel for the students. If for nothing else, the last 2 years, right, come March, it's been one of the hardest times in our lifetimes to be a student. Also, it's been one of the most difficult times to be an educator, especially educators who have their own children at home who've had to teach and help as well. So we don't want to see this in our community. We can't afford to see it. Bermuda's already suffering economically. We can't afford to suffer anymore academically. So I think by saying that, I want to move over to the government now. We've had education minister after education minister. And we don't have to like Diallo Rabban as a person. We don't have to like how he conducts himself. That's to each their own.
Mm-hmm.
But credit where it's due. I actually think, maybe I'm wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he actually comes across as one of the very few people who has held this ministry that seems to have an interest in it. Again, this has nothing to do with liking. I've never hung out with Diallo. He's been on this show. To be honest, I think those are the only conversations I've ever had with him. Commissioner of Education. Again, I don't know Miss Richards beyond her being on the show and her being I believe she was deputy premier when I was at Cedar Bridge. Yeah, I did go Cedar Bridge, folks. Yeah. I don't know her personally, or do I know Miss, I believe the permanent secretary, Valerie James. So my opinions are literally based on the same information that all of you have. But my concern is for the greater good of the students and the educators and Bermuda overall. And so the question to the audience, because we have to get to a place where this is not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
What are the solutions? What are the solutions to what's going on with the Bermuda Union of Teachers and the Ministry of Education? Go, Sherry.
I would say, and it's been a problem for years, right? So no, you're not a teacher, but you've been a student. And to be a student, you can see even from the time that you went to school to where we are now. When I went to school, I didn't have to bring a whole lot of things. It was pens, pencils, papers. Children now have to bring a whole sack full of things because they can't provide it through school. Then we talk about, kids that have different behavioral problems, cognitive problems. There's nobody to help them with them. Then we move into the pandemic, and we have a situation where kids are home for 2 years and we have to do education a whole different way. There's so many levels, is my whole point, from years that teachers have had to live through and work through. And all they're asking is to go and do the job that they went to school for, that they paid good money to do, to teach and give students the education that's needed. So my solution is, ministry, listen to the teachers, the people that are in these classrooms, and know what they're talking about. They work with students every day. They work with different challenges every day. And if you don't listen to what it is that they are requesting and find a better compromise, then what are we looking at?
But Sherry, I can see how people would get upset with the Minister of Education, because his quote in the Royal Gazette, just because something is said and it's not acted upon doesn't mean it wasn't listened to and taken into account when the final decision was made. Well, have you communicated? I mean, the least you can do is communicate to the people, to the Bermuda Union of Teachers, as to how you got to your conclusion. It seems like you feel like, I don't have to explain anything. This is my decision. This is what it's going to be. Based on that, that's what it seems like. And so I feel like you can't act that way. You can't respond in that manner and expect that things are going to turn out fine. Shana Smith says, the first thing I thought when I saw it was, what does this even mean? And I think she's referencing the vote of no confidence. If it doesn't bring about meaningful change, I'm not sure how effective this will be. However, we can't keep operating the same way. And like you said, Sherry, we've been operating this way, it seems like forever, ever. Karen Simmons.
The issue is no confidence in the minister. Permanent secretary and commissioner is not new and has been long-standing. Teachers will be doing work regardless. We'll still be doing work regardless. And like I said, we have a history, Jamal, that has just continued to get worse. And and I hear what you're saying in reference to his comment. It's not that we're not listening. Well, when are you listening? Because it doesn't feel like anything has gotten better. You haven't implemented anything of change if things still are getting worse. We don't have any para educators that can assist other kids. You don't have any type of materials. We're talking the basics. I'm not even getting in the underlying and curriculum and all of those kind of things. Like, what are we listening to?
You know more than me, because honestly, I'm waiting. I want to see what the actual grievances are by the BUT in this situation. Like, they haven't listed them. You know, they just said a vote of no confidence. So I really would like to know, because apparently minister knows, for him to say just because we haven't acted upon them doesn't mean we haven't listened. Again, I would like to know what are the grievances. Traveling Trotty says data is showing teachers are leaving the profession at alarming rates in the US. Not sure if we have or maintain that type of data in Bermuda. Well, what's interesting, what I've noticed, Nachika, and tell me if I'm wrong, because you're an educator, is when I see someone brought this up on this show, public school teachers who are so often maligned, right, and criticized, who move to the private sector, private schools, and all of a sudden, students are doing better. So what is it? What it begs the question, what is it? Monica Dunstan says, yes, Karen, we took the same vote back in 2019. Maybe it's time for some action. What does that action look like? Does it mean, the Bermuda Industrial Union, when they say they're taking action, they go out and, stop people from getting in. Well, I can't say that. That was the people's movement, but, they shut things down. Like, what are we talking about? Again, I think it's so tough as a union. It's so tough because when people support you, when you stand up for yourself, as soon as you begin to inconvenience them, they then switch. So if the Bermuda Union of Teachers were to take action, and then it impacts people's children in terms of their learning and so on, they quickly turn on you, right? So, it's an interesting time. And I just think, there's a bigger picture here. There's a bigger picture. And my hope is that based on what's written in the Royal Gazette from the minister, I think you've got to do a bit better with your effective communication based on that with the Bermuda Union of Teachers. Again, I don't know what the grievances are, but clearly they don't feel like you or the ministry are listening to them.
Effective listening. How about that as well? You indicate communication, effective listening. I'm sure there is plenty of teachers that spend so much money out of their own pockets to assist in what they need for teachers. And I've sat in rooms and MDT meetings and all of these kind of things. And everyone around the table is frustrated because teachers don't have the support that they need to do their job in its entirety, Jamal, in its entirety. And who suffers? The child that's sitting over there that isn't diagnosed, isn't getting the support, isn't getting the materials, isn't getting. And it's not about the teachers, it's about the teachers being able to teach our students. So we send our kids to this place in hopes that they grab something out of what the teachers can give. It's annoying.
Yeah, it's tough. And folks, I don't know what the solution is. Like, I don't know what their grievances are. I'm not close enough to the situation. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have answers for this particular situation. But Monica Dunstan explained, she says, like work to rule, Jamal, we all love the kids and don't want them to suffer. So that's her response when I asked what kind of action. So work to rule. Sean Smith says, will removing politics and creating an independent body to oversee education, would this solve the problem? See, I'm iffy on that because I don't believe creating an authority for tourism solved the tourism issues. I don't think it did. I don't think, mind you, I don't think politicians should have a say, but creating an authority, to quote Lou Matthews, I did a podcast with him years ago. All it does is puts education or tourism or whatever it is in the hands of the old boys club, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean better, especially if a lot of the same people, think about it. You create a tourism authority, right? And who's the head of it originally? David Dudwell. This is a Bermudian who was voted out by the people of Bermuda, who now has his rank as tourism minister, who's like, has now got the reins of the tourism authority. Like, I just don't understand it. So I'm not quite sure that an authority is the answer, but it could be. Education may be a different animal. Traveling Trotty for you, Sherry.
With school redesign change is coming. We have to all keep current and get involved as we all have a voice.
And Samcat Place says stability is in the private school. That's what is better. Even in my time going to school, I don't remember there even being a strike. It's too much discord, and this has been going on for years. And Cap says effective listening is a huge problem for some in the Ministry of Education. It's my way or the highway, and that attitude needs to change. Traveling Trotty for you, Sherry.
Public schools are far from perfect, but they still offer significant benefits in preparing the next generation.
Interesting. Mark Arthur C. Phillips says, good morning, TDH family. Smash the like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Just make sure you do it, folks. Make sure you do it. You might win yourself you might be the next Shyvon Samcat Place. You never know.
Let me subscribe now.
But folks, it's interesting. It's tough. I think Bermuda is in a dire state, especially economically. And the foundation of our community is an educated community. And education is not just what happens in the classroom, but it's a big part of it. And if, we don't get that straight, I don't see it getting any better. Sheikah Rana with a question, Sherry.
Is there a consistent communication channel between the education department and teachers, i.e. weekly updates?
I would love to get that answer for you, Sheikah. We did extend an invite, but obviously it happened fast, so we did not we were unable to get anyone confirmed for this morning to have them on, but we can definitely put that question out and try to get some answers. But again, folks, I feel like I think for the most part, everyone watching this show, right? Everyone tuned into this show, whether you're an educator, whether you have children or not, understands the importance of a great academic system. I don't think the general public, has had confidence in Bermuda's public education system in decades. Mark Arthur C. Phillips, he says, for far too long, education has been a political football. We need to make a plan that we can educate our children for the 21st century world. Samcat Place says, take politics out of education. You can't have anyone in politics without a teaching background that can truly represent the teachers and students. So, these are some ideas, maybe some solutions. I don't know, folks. I don't know. But what we all agree on, Sherry, I'm pretty sure we all agree on this one thing. It can't continue the way it's been going. It can't continue the way it's been going. We're going to take a quick break, folks. We're going to come back with the Daily Play and wrap it up. If someone guesses this before Sherry, we might just give you a mug. Don't go anywhere. Stick with it. Chances are somebody will.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All right, welcome back. Thanks again to One Communications, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. Don't forget, subscribe to our website, thedailyhour.com, for a chance to win cash prizes and more. If you want to be the next Shyvon Samcat Place, you know what to do. Go to our website, subscribe, and make sure you read on our website how you can be eligible. It's probably the easiest opportunity you can have to win $500. So, folks, maybe we should ask Samcat Place how she's going to spend her money. None of our business, but it may encourage you all and catch the little dough, But you know what? Let's wrap up today's show. What's your final thoughts before we get to the Daily Play share?
I had to think about what we talked about so much, Jamal. It's like, what
Yeah,
did
we
we
did.
talk about?
Charity thing first.
Yes,
And
as
then
I say, charity acts. I take all the points that Jamal had put out in regards to not just giving people things, but giving people some education and some empowerment to do better in the long haul. As far as our education system, as we stated before, this has been going on for many, 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 many years. And if we don't listen effectively and communicate effectively, we're going to continue to be in a bad state.
Indeed, indeed. And Sam Cat Place answered it, folks. She said it went on a bill. Smart lady. Said her
And when it was an
$500
electric
was a
bill.
bill. Shucks, the way those things work, right? But charitable acts. Let me be clear. If a company, an organization wants to give their money to someone, a give back, I have no issue with that. I'm not in the business of telling people what to do with their money, whether it's a person or a company. That's on them. That's not the issue here. The issue is Black people thinking that this solves problems. The issue is the greater public thinking that temporary relief makes a difference in the problems we face. And the biggest issue I have with it is when the cameras arrive, it becomes an exercise in PR and marketing. This, my friends, is my issue with it. As far as the BUT, Bermuda Union of Teachers, and the Ministry of Education, please, for the sake of the children, educators, and the greater community, let's fix it fast. All righty. Time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol. Sherry, are you ready?
Sure, Jamal.
All righty, folks. Sherry is ready. It's a Who Said It this morning quote. We have a shared destiny, a shared responsibility to save the world from those who attempt to destroy it.
Can I get a hint, Alex?
It was an African woman.
Was it Mandela's wife? Am I close?
We're gonna give it to her. She said, "Was it Mandela's wife?" But her name is Winnie Mandela.
Winnie. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The answer was
I'm gonna take that.
Yeah. Hey, look, Winnie won't be happy with that, but Rashida Godwin says Winnie Mandela. Yeah, she has her own legacy. Don't do Winnie like that now. But yes, you got it. Sherry.
But hey, I was in the ballpark. Like,
yes, you did. Folks, don't forget, if you haven't already, go to our YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit notifications. Right? If you appreciated today's conversation, make sure you give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Sherry, I know you've got some daily inspiration for us.
I do. Instead of inheriting a broken system, we have the power to change it. And that's from Yara Shahidi, actress for Blackish.
Load it back up. But I love that one, especially based on what we are talking about today. You know, we can't continue to love the little things, the trinkets within the system. You know, I just saw something on someone's post asking, "Oh, is Colin Kaepernick back in the NFL now?" Right? Because again, this is what corporations do. They bring in that person. We can get them back. Let's have a rap concert during our biggest event and so on. And we lap it up. We enjoy it. We're all guilty of it, right? But this is why we don't win on the greater stage and the big picture. We don't accomplish things. And we have to accept that we are at fault for some of this stuff. But you know what, Sherry? We live, but we have to ensure that we learn.
Absolutely.
Big show tomorrow. Looking forward to having the former premier of Bermuda, the Honorable Sir John Swan. Looking forward to that, folks. And we have Simone Smith Bean coming on this week. If you ever thought about starting a business, and I'm talking about a real business, not just getting a website and calling yourself a business, but the steps you have to take to open a business, it's a lot. You don't want to miss that either. Sherry, it's time to do it.
It is. Let me get my cup.
Once again, congratulations to January's winner, Siobhan Place, on winning the first $500 prize. Folks, go to our website, see how you can be eligible to win this month's prize. It's very easy. Just go to our website, check it out. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamel Hartman. And if you celebrate it, go and enjoy your Valentine's, my friends. Make it a safe and great day. Cheers.
Bye.